Hello there, it's me, Sari here again, and today I'm here with a scrap haul consisting of a lot of stencils, both from Tim Holtz, Dutch Doobadoo, Creoles, and the mixed media plates from Nelly Snellen. And I did have an idea in my head, and I wanted to just see if I could show you whilst I'm showing you these things. So, first off, the mixed media plate comes in, let's say, 4 or 5 different sizes. It seems like I just got the one here, but I did get the biggest one, and it's an A5 sized plate. And I have actually placed it on this big stamp press from Fiskars. And you can't really see the size, but I'm just going to trace it like this. It's an A4 size, I'm sorry, an A5, the half of an A4. And it's stored between the 2 plastic sheets like this, so I would really recommend you to keep them, hold on to them, don't forget them. And since they are see-through, well, there might be a little bit of a risk for doing so. And just let's get started like this. I'm just going to go here. You could work with either acrylic paints perhaps, or ink pads and everything on this plastic. And what I tried out before I just started this video was to make myself a template of plastic. So this is sort of a binder or some sort of a file holder, and I cut it to size, sort of, and then I just die cut a heart shape out of it, and here's the negative. And when I'm going to do my inking, I'm just going to put it, sort of line it up with the mixed media plate, and in this case it is going to end up properly on that plastic like that. And I tried making it work with a brayer from the ink pad, but it seems like the plastic is a little bit too high for the ink to really transfer there properly. So what I did was I just went for some ink directly from the pad, and I'm just going to dab it in like this. And I'm going to work it in rather well, because I don't want the heart to be splotchy or something like that. So I'm just going to put the ink here, and since I do have the stencil, I don't really have to worry that much about getting the ink on the outside of the heart, unless I forget to take off the mask. And it might be a good idea to just use this sort of a plastic that you have a colour on, because then you can see it better in between those see-through plastic sheets. So I have some residue here, but I'm going to clean it off later. And right now I'm just going to take this and use it as a big stamp tool, an acrylic block, but in this case it's going to be a stamp press. And all I have to do now is just press it down there and lift it up. And you can see I didn't get a perfect thing there. I could try to make it work, but I'm thinking that there might be a little bit too little ink somewhere. But it's going to be like that. And you see, I did actually manage it the 3rd time. So it isn't a foolproof method, but it's a way to actually make use of a big mixed media plate like this. And then you can make several stencils that you can create your shapes out of. That's my point with this one. Of course, you could do your inking on this one just as it is, on a big surface like this. Let's see how it would work. I'm just going to take some ink on a brayer here. And in this case, I could actually put the ink on, transfer it on like that, or I could just go with the ink pad like this and then brayer it on. I think that is a little bit quicker method if you are using one color, or perhaps even 2 colors. Let's see, some of these colors might not blend that well. I'm just going to take off some of that reddish now, because I don't want that one to be contaminated now, do I? So let's see, I'm going to use my brayer. Problem is, when I'm adding a brayer on, I'm going to lift off some color, because it's going to end up somewhere. Let's see what the print looks like when I'm doing this. It's really handy to use a stamp press like this, because then you can go wild and crazy about it. I'm not sure why it isn't transferring better, but perhaps I have too little color or ink on it. I'm just going to wipe it clean. And I would like you to go to my other video where I actually show a lot of techniques with the mixed media plates. So I just wanted to give you this tip of perhaps this might be able to work. If you want to keep the size as it is, and just use templates that you are making out of plastic, and then you can reuse them again and again and again, hopefully. Just practice on that method. So let's move on. I'm just going to wipe it clean. So let's move on with the stencils that I got. I did get a couple of sets from Tim Holtz, and I did take them out of their package. And nowadays, beforehand, I mean, here I actually have the sizes. There's a round one, and there's a square one, there is an oval one, and there's even a rectangular one, I believe. So 5 different sizes as for now. And I did get myself these mini or the layering stencils from Tim Holtz, both in the regular size, and some of them are in a mini size. And before, they used to have the name for the pattern on the stencil itself, but nowadays one has to do that for oneself. So one has to do a little bit of detecting, if you will. It does say on the package for the bigger ones. So this one, for example, does say tracks, and I actually managed to get the tracks one out at the same time. But just for my own remembering sake, I'm just putting the name there, because if I'm going to do a show and tell, I just wanted people to know which one this is. And the same one goes for this one, concerto, lots of notes, allegro, it could be called also, I suppose. And here's another one, trellis. I do like this pattern. And I thought I'd just show you a way to use these with brushes. Doodle is another one. I really like this one. And then we come to the small ones, and they come in a pack of 3. And you don't really know which ones they are because they haven't got the names, but I just did the detecting for you. Mesh. I thought this was going to be chicken wire, but it was mesh. This one is floral, and it's going to be in a set with roses and such. So this one is in a different set, I suppose, altogether. Zigzag. Could be the same thing. I'm not sure if I got it now or before. Heartstruck. Lots of hearts there. Trellis. Same one in a smaller size. Doodle. Really funky. And then we have the tracks. I like that one a lot. So there we have the Tim Holtz stencils. And here's something from Dutch Doobadoo. I believe it's a Dutch company, of course, when it's called Dutch. So they have a lot of funky stencils, so check these out. And then I actually started collecting some stencils from Creoles. Creoles is also a Dutch company, I believe. And they have both stencils and stamps and everything. And be on the lookout, because I do have a surprise for you. Both when it comes to dies and stamps. They will be releasing some new stamps later in March, so I'm just going to say stop at that. Just going to get your expectations up. But in this case, I did get 2 sets of bricks. If I put them closely, you can see that these are really square, whilst these are a bit wonky and funky. So I just couldn't decide on which one to get, so I got them both. And I did get these because they have 3 different sizes in just one set, and it's really handy if you're going to do small or big projects. So let's see. I'm just going to focus on sorry, where are you? Here. These ones. I'm just going to turn this one over, or should I just fold it? I just put this as a sort of a scrap piece of paper, surface paper for me. And I just realized how fun it is to work with stencils, especially when you have brushes. Brushes like this. I mean, there are a thing called Clarity stencil brushes, but they are a bit pricey in my opinion. So I did go to a hardware store and I found these instead. These are called sort of round brushes, or in Swedish spröjspenslar. And I'm not going, I don't know what the spröjs means in English. I could find it up, look it up and just put it in the description box below, of course I could. So let's see, I'm just going to take a stencil like this, and I'm going to go a little bit mad and wild. I'm going to go for some orange. I do like orange. Bright Tangelo. And I mean, you could go with any kind of ink pad really. I've been using the Distress Oxide inks lately, but for now I'm just going to go for this. And all I do is just pencil away like this, or just brush away like this. I'm just going to use it there and make a sort of an uneven thing. Lift it up, and there you can see. It's going to be really smashing. And I could of course stay within the orange actually, just come to think of it, because sometimes I go mad and wild and I forget about myself. And now, when I'm taking a new stencil, I actually have the chance of holding on to the ink pad, and that's a good thing. And then I'm just going to put it here. I actually just use the line there. And then I'm just going to brush it like that. And lift it up. And there you can see. So there's a difference between the stencils themselves. Some of them have small patterns, whilst some of them have big patterns. You get different results, of course, with them. And I'm going to put that one away. Let's see if I can put the trellis somewhere else. I'm going to take some ink, hold on to the ink pad, really useful way, actually. I'm going to use the line there, edge, and I'm just going to brush it in like that. And keeping the color scheme in the same manner like this, you could actually create yourself a really nice background paper. Or pattern paper, let's say. I'm going to use the line down there, and I'm just going to brush it off like that. Lift it up, and there you have it. I'm going to go over the lamp like that. And I'm going to go for some zigzag. And all the time I'm just having myself a thought of what is it going to look like? I mean, is it going to be a small print or a big print like that one? This one is going to be a little bit medium. I'm thinking of actually putting it there. I'm sort of eyeballing it, hoping it'll be somewhat lined up. I mean, mostly I don't really care if it's lined up or not, but when you have a sort of a zigzag pattern or something that could be sort of linear, I do want to make it sort of straight. And there you have that one. Let's see, I do have some floral here. And remember, these stencils do come in large sizes and these mini sizes. This floral pattern is going to be rather big, so I'm just going to brush it off like that. And I'm avoiding getting the ink outside the stencil because I don't want a harsh line there, now do I? I just want this one to be a soft, sort of airbrushed look. And there you have the flowers. Detailed and nice. Let's see, what else do I have here? I do have some mesh. Just going to take the advantage of actually holding on to the ink pad. This is going to be a big print, so I'm thinking perhaps it could work out down here. Just going to use the line here as a guide and work myself through the stencil like this with the brush. There we have it. And I could do some doodling, of course. This is also going to be a big print. Let's say a lot of ink is going to be see-through like this. I'm just going to put it like there, put it up there. And I'm going to work as a madman. I mean, this is a really fun way to just experiment with your stencils, try them out, compare different inks. And just to see where you're going to end up. Put on some more ink if you want a little bit of stronger colour. Lift it up. There we are with that one. Trellis then. The big trellis. Let's see where I end up with that. It is going to be a big print, and since I do have it there, I don't want it to be next to it, so I'd rather have it up here. I could actually just try to make it work with the sort of edge thingy there. I'm just going to brush on. Take a little bit more, brush it on, like that, and there you can see it. And I do have two more that I could make use of. Concerto, lots of notes. There's a beautiful corner for that one there. And all I do is just brush it on. I mean, of course you could take it easy, but I'm not that kind of a girl, not am I? I'm rushy. I like to rush things. I want to get them over and done with. There we have it. And the final one, trellis. As you remember, I actually started off with a trellis, if I don't remember incorrectly. So there we have it. And I'm going to find a juxtaposition I had in my head now for the word. I'm just going to put it in the corner down here, just because I didn't plan this better. And I must say that the ink on the brush stretches quite a bit. Of course, it's not going to be as strong in the end as it is in the beginning, but still you have a lot of ink on the brush, so it does collect quite a lot. So here we have it. And just imagine having this like that. Just going to lift that one up. And you could place a photo or something here, and you have made your own pattern paper, easily peasily like that. Just using one colour of ink, lots of stencils, and just one brush in this case. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. So, I hope I have inspired you to just start using your stencils, collecting brushes perhaps, having some fun with your inks, and even trying this one out. Trying out the mixed media plate, various methods. I do have done another video for that, so just recommend you to go there. I hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.